So where am I hunting tonight, you might ask? Well, let me show you. Actually, on the lawn, right there. You can see the tree stand and the oak tree down there by my target, and it's dropping acorns. So the benefit of having moved to the farm here and working till 5 o'clock is that still leaves a couple hours of light left that you can go out and go bow hunting. So let's see if we can get a doe for the freezer. My venison rations are getting dangerously low. Carryover from last year. Hey, Fisher.
Oh, I should probably replace that.
Fisher, what are you doing? This is not a cat sport. You're gonna have to go back to the barn there, cat. So that doe just went down. She didn't make it off the field. Looking at the placement of the luminoc going through her chest, that was definitely a hard shot. She ran about 20 yards and dropped. Didn't go 20, literally this time. And she was expired almost immediately within seconds after the shot. So it's perfect place, hard shot, exactly what you're looking for. Quick death, no suffering by the animal. And I think this is a good time to address the situation of shooting a doe that has a fawn with her. I see this topic come up from time to time on forums, and it often gets into a pretty heated debate when it does. The fawns, they are weaned typically in 10 weeks. Fisher, what are you doing? So I've got a piece of the hind quarter here, and tonight I'm going to go with venison Vietnamese pho. Not sure how often you hear that. Purists will probably try to bury me for not making just steaks on the grill or in a cast iron pan. But you know what? I really like Vietnamese pho. I have steaks all the time, and I'm not about to go to the grocery store and buy beef. So we're going to use venison in the pho tonight. So the idea here is thin to win. Find the cross grain so it's more tender. Actually helps if it's still a little bit frozen, a little firmer for cutting it and keeping it a nice consistent thinness. Thin to win. Thin to win. So this is elk bone broth that I recently made with a spike elk that I got in Idaho just a few weeks back. That video will be published soon, so make sure you subscribe so you can see that. We have all of your traditional Vietnamese pho garnishes and ingredients for the soup. Minus one thing, the local grocery store around here did not have bean sprouts on hand, so had to go without that. I'm gonna say that's good enough. The remainder is gonna go into an overnight saltwater brine, and that is going to hit the grill tomorrow. Now you take your thin slices and your already simmering or boiling broth, and that is going to cook almost immediately when it hits. While my pho is still a little too hot to eat here, I thought it'd be a good chance to address the dilemma of shooting a doe that has a fawn. I see this topic come up from time to time on forums, and it usually leads to some pretty heated debates. Everyone's situation, property is different, so make your own assessment, but at least for around here, here's how I see it. Fawns are born from late May to early June. They need to have their mother's milk for up to 10 weeks, and they can survive without it. They can be weaned in July or August. Doesn't mean the doe won't keep producing milk. I've seen a fawn nurse all the way as late as November. Doesn't mean the fawn needs that to survive. Some people nurse for 2 years with their babies. They don't necessarily need that. Beautiful Robin in Game of Thrones was nursing up until he was 9 years old. Anyways, that's a joke, but my point is, the fawn can find its own food late August, and that's why hunting season is set mid-September on for a reason. The other question is predation. Can the fawn survive predators without its mother's protection? Well, number one, wolves in this area are long gone. We've destroyed their habitat, turning it into pastures and fields, so that's not a concern. We are the apex predators now, so it's our responsibility to keep the deer population in check. Then there's coyotes. There's also debate how many deer coyotes kill. Some people think they kill a lot, and you gotta kill all the coyotes, shoot all the coyotes. Other people, which I'm probably in the camp that coyotes can feed themselves pretty well on squirrels, rabbits, mice and pheasants, other small game, and I don't think they really kill that many deer. I find 1 or 2 carcasses of fawn kills on our property every year. Who knows if it was even a coyote. if coyotes are preying on deer and are a concern of coyotes killing too many deer, the coyotes are not doing a very good job, because as you can see by our cornfield, a third of it has been destroyed by deer. Our renter is threatening to leave because of the crop damage by deer. We didn't want to get ag tags and open up our land to the public, but we can't even grow a tree around here. If you plant a tree, you have to put a cage around it, to quote a relative. If you plant a tree without a cage, you're throwing your money down the drain. And also, forget about natural regeneration of trees around here. They're going to get eaten off, grazed off immediately. The only trees that grow around here naturally are buckthorn trees, non-invasive or non-natives, and very invasive. They're a problem. That's a whole other rabbit hole. The only other plant that really runs wild here is canary grass, and some willows. So willows are the good thing there. But buckthorn, canary grass might provide a little bit of cover, but they're no food for the animals, and really not something that you want running wild on your farm unchecked. It's not like this everywhere. If you go up north and you have lower deer densities, I've hunted in Superior National Forest in the Boundary Waters, and you can't take a step in the woods without stepping on a small oak tree. So that's the difference between low deer densities and here, where we probably have, I wouldn't be surprised, upwards of 75 deer per square mile. Professional biologists will tell you that 20 to 30 deer per square mile is a healthy level. If you get higher than that, you're running into concerns with overpopulation, disease, crop damage, auto incidents, overgrazing. So anyways, I see it as our responsibility to keep the deer population in check as the apex predators. I don't think coyotes are a big threat to the fawns surviving without their mothers. Fawns can find their own food without their mothers. Most does get bred, most does have fawns, so if you're not willing to shoot a doe without a fawn, why are you even hunting? So anyways, that's my 2 cents here. Everyone's situation is different. If you have a area that is in recovery mode where you want to increase the deer population, yeah, then I've passed does and fawns all the time when I was hunting in Superior National Forest. I won't shoot them. I will only shoot mature bucks in that area. I actually didn't shoot a deer in 7 or 8 years hunting there, and I passed does and fawns there. Here, I will take a doe and fill my freezer with it, absolutely, and up to twice a year I'll go through that meat. So make your own decision. It's your tag. You can do what you want. Don't worry about the chirpers in the comments section of Facebook. But that's just my 2 cents. I have no problem shooting a doe that has a fawn in tow. Rant over. Bon appetit.